Hello, my name is Trinity and I'm the Agency Training Coordinator at the Arizona Food Bank Network. This presentation will cover a bit of AzFBN history, how food banking works and where your food comes from, food bank supply chain and procurement methods, the Southwest Produce Cooperative, and other exciting programs we run like Friends of the Farm and No Borders, No Limits. We'll also talk about some ways we target hunger and how the AmeriCorps VISTA program works at our organization. AzFBN is not a food bank itself, but a network of 5 regional food banks and around 1,000 agencies. If you're watching this, you may be one of them. We address food insecurity through education and advocacy on both state and national levels, supporting food banks by transporting and purchasing food, providing referrals to food for those that need it via our online directory and 1-800 number, providing disaster coordination, spreading awareness about hunger to the general public via facilitated research, and helping to end hunger by partnering with organizations to assist at-risk populations like older adults, college students, rural Arizonans, Native Americans, and children. Arizona Food Bank Network was originally called the Association of Arizona Food Banks, so you may see that name on some of our older publications and graphics. We've been around since 1984, and the image on the right maps the 5 regional food banks: St. Mary's, Yuma, Desert Mission, Community, and United. The service areas are designated by the Department of Economic Security and by Feeding America. Feeding America is the umbrella organization that provides access to grocery rescue. Through Feeding America, pantries have access to their local grocery stores for product. Through DES, food banks are contracted to implement TFAP and CSFP. Food banks acquire resources and perform distribution within their designated service sites. Where does your food come from? This graphic shows where food comes from to nourish hungry people. As you can see, there are a lot of sources. For our regional member food banks, much of the food comes from the federal government through the Emergency Food Assistance Program, also known as TFAP, thanks to Feeding America. Food is also acquired through grocery rescue, donations from corporations, community food drives, individual donors, statewide programs, and from purchasing. Of course, the breakdown of how much from each source has changed over the course of the pandemic. Most notably, pre-COVID, TFAP and CSFP were at 25%, and now, since March 2020, it's grown to 37%. In Arizona, we are lucky to be part of the Southwest Produce Cooperative, and we have a lot of amazing produce grown right here in the Grand Canyon state. This graphic shows agricultural hotspots and the produce they grow. By being part of the co-op, food banks work together to ensure all clients have access to nutritious produce and to share excess, if there is any, after the needs of their service area are met. We don't want to waste food, so in the past, surplus has even been transported across state lines. Speaking of community-supported agriculture, Friends of the Farm is a program here at AzFBN where we contract small-scale producers and purchase surplus goods for distribution throughout our network. USDA has funded this program and we couldn't be more grateful. With this funding, we are able to pay growers, ranchers, farmers, and producers market value for their products, which then will supply the nearby food pantries. Talk about eating local. If you are or know a grower in the state of Arizona or just want to learn more, please reach out to our Friends of the Farm coordinator. Another unique program we have is our No Borders, No Limits produce program. AzFBN has partnered with what was previously known as Nogales Produce Rescue to work together to rescue and redirect Mexican-grown produce to make sure we use as much excess food as possible. The logistics team in Phoenix has added more resources in the form of staff support, drivers, semi-tractor trailers. This means a substantial expansion of our operation. Last year, our combined efforts coordinated food loads to over 21 food banks. Some of these loads made it all the way to food bank partners as far as New York. At AzFBN, we envision a day when food banks are no longer needed, when families have access to the nutritious meals they need to stay healthy, and children no longer attend school on empty tummies. In addition to supporting our food banks to feed people today, we also work to solve hunger for tomorrow. Of course, these are not the only groups experiencing hunger or food insecurity, but here are some communities we focus our work on, and I'll explain how in the coming slides. We know that when students are fed, their health improves, class disruptions go down, and grades go up. To support these students, we work with the Arizona Department of Education's Health and Nutrition Services Department and community members to help schools and school districts provide free breakfast and lunch to their students. We also know that kids who rely on school meals throughout the year are at risk of going hungry during the summer. AzFBN works to promote summer meal sites and identify site expansion opportunities in underserved urban and rural communities. We know that in addition to health reasons, it is important to understand that there is an emotional and psychological value to consuming traditional and culturally relevant foods. As Tristan Kitch, our community program manager, writes, people need food that not only fills their bellies, but also nourishes their hearts. Through partnership and collaboration with tribal communities and schools, we work together to identify root causes of child food insecurity and develop corresponding community led solutions with a dedicated focus on supporting tribal food sovereignty. It's no secret that vets face many barriers after they leave service. At AZFBN, we take action in support of anti hunger legislation for veterans and active service members, as well as getting folks informed and connected to food resources and SNAP benefits. We also help enroll college students in SNAP benefits and get connected with food and other resource programs, as well as older adults, which is the fastest growing food insecure population in our nation. You may be wondering how we get all this work done. In addition to an incredible staff, community partners, and many volunteers, we are also a host site for AmeriCorps Volunteers in Service to America, or VISTA members. I myself am a VISTA, just one of many at AZFBN that contribute to fighting hunger. AZFBN has come a long way as a host sponsor site. We now have 33 VISTA slots available. Who knows what new innovative projects will be created? Some other VISTA titles include Native American Programs Coordinator, Older Adult Programs Coordinator, Digital Engagement Coordinator, Storytelling and Marketing Coordinator, and many more. If you'd like to become a host site, please connect with our AmeriCorps Program Manager.